Hi guys, on today's episode, we're going to talk about the backstory of Toy World Inc. and how it was formed. 30 years ago, this warehouse, I don't know how else to describe it, but it's huge. This warehouse has been formed roughly 30 years ago, and it's been a process for my mom, and she's built it to the point where it's unimaginable. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you haven't, please subscribe and like on YouTube and on Instagram. Thank you. Hey guys, what's up? If you guys don't know me already, my name is Calvin Lee. I'm currently the operator of Toy World Inc. If you guys also don't know, my mom is the owner of the company Toy World Inc. I've just been on a mission to really give back to my mom, and really just I know she's given me a lot, but I hope to at least get near to giving back what she gave to me. Throughout my 25 years of life, she's given me a lot. She's given me everything that I've wanted and everything that I've not even asked for, she's given to me. So on today's episode, I would like to go a little backwards. I'd like to go, maybe not a little bit, actually 30 years ago backwards. I'd like to go ahead and explain the story of Toy World Inc. Maybe a lot of you don't know, maybe some of you do know, but Toy World Inc. is a family-owned and operated company for over 30 years. And so I'd like to start off with how the company started. Originally, my mom and my late father, who passed away in 2006, they had come to Miami looking for a better life. They had immigrated from South America, and they were hoping that things would be better here in the United States. What better place to choose than Miami? Because my mom at the time not at the time. She's known Spanish, and she knows Spanish pretty fluently. To those of you who don't know her, if you call and a lady that speaks Spanish, it's either my mom or my wife. And most likely my mom's answering the phone. So 30 years ago, my mom and dad started being a waiter and a waitress at a restaurant. My mom originally was just a waiter and a takeout person, boxing takeouts and stuff like that. And my father would also do be a part of wait staff. And eventually he actually was in the kitchen. However, their boss, I guess, was not the best boss. They found that the boss was very rude, and so my father eventually just told my mom, "Let's go," and they found another job at another restaurant, both working at certain times on certain days. And then my father and mom, they found out that there was a little place off of Bird Road and right off the 826 where Best Buy and Target is now. There used to be a flea market in that lot. It used to not have any buildings, no pavement, no concrete. It was just grassland and tents for a flea market. And essentially, my mom and dad found a wholesaler roughly here in Doral selling some toys, and they said, "Well, let's give it a try. Let's try it out. I mean, nothing to lose, you know." So they eventually bought some toys, put it in their little car, station wagon, and drove to the flea market on their days off. Set up tent with a table and just one cash register, and started selling toys. Started selling a few toys here and there. Nothing major, but definitely. When my mom was explaining the story to me, she was very happy to make their first sales, to see that products were actually being sold. So with that being said, my mom and dad started requesting for a little bit more time off of their restaurant job. Essentially saying, hey, we can only work on certain days, such as weekends and morning times. and my mom and dad would on the other times, their off hours, I guess you would call it, they would go and run the flea market outside. No AC, no fans. So from there on, they started growing, and they started learning more and started building more. So eventually, one of this gentleman, he came over and saw what my mom and dad were selling, and he even offered to them, "Hey, I have better prices that you can buy. You guys have a spot to sell already, so I can move products to you guys so that you guys can sell." And so they took up that offer and bought some products, but they would always pay the seller right back right away. As that was their moral compass. They would never, hold any credits or 30-day payoffs. My mom and dad hated owing someone, especially during their beginning, because that was such pressure and leverage over them. So eventually, as they started growing, my mom and dad moved from a flea market to a warehouse near Northwest 74th Street, and they had rented a warehouse there and started selling out from that warehouse. My dad had ordered his first container. My mom and dad had ordered their first container, and my dad eventually unloaded that container by himself with my mom watching. If you guys don't know, a 53-foot container is one of those big rigs that you guys always see on the highway, such as from Target or Best Buy or a big Amazon Prime delivery truck. No forklifts, no hand trucks, nothing like that. And my dad did it. My dad did it in a nighttime. It took him a lot of work, a lot of struggle, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of blood, but he made it. My mom persisted with him, and they made it through, unloaded that first container and grew it. Eventually, they had grown out of that warehouse, which was relatively small, and moved into a warehouse off of Milam Dairy Road and roughly northwest, I think, 27th Street, I would say. For some of you that have followed us or been with us, been faithful clients, which we thank you for, you guys have probably known that location before the current location that we're actually at. My mom and dad had originally rented one warehouse there, and from there they grew into two warehouses, rented the warehouse next door. Eventually, they said, well, we can't just keep renting. This warehouse is too small now. Now we have to go somewhere else. So eventually they had relocated to this current warehouse, which is at 7455 Northwest 41st Street, Miami, Florida, 33166. For those of you also that have been coming here, we were located right next to Telemundo. Telemundo has now moved out. So with that being said, that's the story of Toy World. It's been challenging years. My mom almost gave up at one point because my dad had passed away, and it was very difficult for her. But with persistence and perseverance, my mom, she's gotten to this point where she's kept it stable and kept it still. And for those of you that are watching this, I mark my words, but I'd like to turn this into the biggest party retailer and wholesaler out there. I hope to grow it. I hope to give back to my mom, like I said in the beginning of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening to this story of what Toy World Inc. is and how it became. Once again, I hope to see you guys in store one day. I know it's hot. It's summertime. Miami summer heat is no joke. It's been in the mid to upper 90s, and it feels like hundreds. Thank you for your continued support. And if you guys aren't already, I hope you subscribe. And if you guys can give us a like on Instagram or a follow on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter, whatever it might be that you guys use. please go ahead and follow us, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're going to go ahead and start uploading more videos. We have a previous video with one of my best friends, George. He's big into tech. He's big into accounting. Two things at once that don't go hand in hand together much, but he's doing it. And if you haven't seen his Instagram or his YouTube, I'm gonna tag it right below. So please give him a follow and a subscription. Thanks again, guys. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you guys enjoyed hearing the backstory on Tour World Inc.